Check that out, guys. What do you guys think about this Ned rig right here?
For this project, you'll need a couple things. Of course, you need to pick your favorite stick bait. And for the Ned rig, I prefer using Z-Man's their TRD, Finesse TRD, because they float. But depending what else you guys could do, you guys can use any other sort of stick bait. And I'll show you guys again with underwater videos of the difference between, let's say, a traditional stick bait from, let's say, Gary Yamamoto Senkos or Bass Pro Stickos versus the floating type from Z-Man. And then you need some sort of Marabou. Here's a string of Marabou that I have, and I like to use chartreuse, but you guys can use whatever you want. And I like to use some sort of fluorescent type, so whether it's pink or this color here, because most of the time when I fish finesse stuff, I like to use some sort of a natural color with some sort of green. And having this super bright green can contrast from these more natural colors. And the whole key of getting everything, and the whole key of how to get this Marabou onto the soft plastic is this thing right here. So in the fly tying world, and you guys see this in my channel many times, where I use this bobbin pin thread holder, and it allows me to easily dispense my line and tie flies. Well, in order to get this line through here, it could be very tricky with this thread. So this thing right here is like a tool that you use to stick it through here, and then you put the line through here and you pull the line through. Same concept. What we're actually gonna be doing is taking this, stick it into the plastic, and then pulling this through. And lastly, you need some sort of super glue to keep your feather onto your plastic lure. Alright, here is the TRD, Finesse TRD, that is. So let's take a look at this. This is the head, so this is gonna be the tail. So what you want to do is take your pin right here, and you want to go back just about, I'll say half an inch. And what you want to do is stick this through here, puncture in just a little bit, and slide it through towards the back of the worm. And it's a little bit harder to do with the Z-Man products because of how stretchy and how strong it is, which is why I like it. It's gonna be a lot easier if you were to use traditional plastics, but once you stick it through, right, like so, you put it on the side. Then take your Marabou, and I'll just grab one from one end. Alright, so let's talk about the structure of this Marabou for 1 second. What you want to do is stroke this out, because you saw it's kind of like stuck together, probably from the dye, and not really sure, just the fibers naturally from the feather body itself. And then look at here, this is the hard back end, and it's pretty thick. So what I like to do is kind of break it off, or you can snip it, it's up to you. But you want to get most of that off and get the main side, and I'll show you why for a second. As I mentioned, it's pretty thick here, right? And once you clear that out, it's a lot thinner, and it's easier to go through your soft plastic. Now, you want to strip out all the small fibers, and from here, what you want to do is insert here. Let me put this through just a little bit more. See this little wide little wire circle there with the loop? You want to put it all at the end only. The further back you put it, the harder it is to pull through your plastic, as well as if you use other plastic like the stickos and stuff like that, it might tear a little easier, so it's not good doing that. And once you pull that through, it slides right off. Put that on the side, and what you want to do is pull this back just a little bit. But you want to leave this here. You don't want to pull this back through. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to take your super glue. Just get a little dab. Coming out just like that. Just put that right at the base where the plastic and the feather meets. Kind of spread it around. Do it to both sides. Just a little bit. There we go. Alright, after that, right back at the tail right there, just pull it back just a little bit, not a lot, just so the super glue kind of goes in to the soft plastic. Make sure you cap this so this don't harden. Then you take scissors, which I failed to mention in the things you need. Scissors. Snip that off as best you can. Alright. and then you pull it out just a little bit, just so that, or you could just stretch your plastic so that it goes right back in. And there you have it. Pretty simple. Let's get to the tank and let me show you guys how this looks, as well as other soft plastics.
Check that out, guys. What do you guys think about this Ned rig right here?
Alright, so here is a non-Z-Man product. This is the Bass Pro Shop, their Sticko. As you see, since it's not floating, it's gonna fall, which gives a totally different action. As you saw the other one, it was sticking straight up, but right here, because it falls, it let the tail do a lot of action. So yeah, don't write off regular Stickos or any other stick baits when you do this technique, because there are two totally different actions. Other things you can do with stick bait is, if you guys like wacky rigs, is to put Marabou on both sides. Look at that, look how it falls. And by the way, this is just a regular Sticko from Bass Pro. Imagine how it's gonna be if it was like a finesse worm or the other worm from Z-Man. That thing would fall a lot slower, creating a lot of wobbles and a lot of commotion.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this tutorial today. If so, please give me a like. And if you want to see more of these type of crazy stuff on my YouTube channel, consider subscribing because there's going to be a ton of crazy stuff coming out. Once again, thank you for watching. Until next time, guys, make sure you guys prepare for your spring fishing adventures. Hippity hop, hippity hop.